What makes a movie a Christmas movie? The snow, the music, or the feelings it asks us to sit with? Today, we're talking about The Holiday and how it's not the cozy, family-centered Christmas movie we've convinced ourselves it is. Nancy Meyers' 2006 film has somehow cemented itself as essential holiday viewing, appearing on every Best Christmas Movies list alongside Love Actually and Elf. Walk into any conversation about seasonal favorites, and someone will inevitably mention Cameron Diaz's perfectly appointed Los Angeles mansion or Kate Winslet's impossibly cozy Surrey cottage. We've collectively decided this belongs in the Christmas canon. Yet, if you actually watch it, you'll notice something strange. Christmas barely matters. The film uses the holiday season as set dressing while telling a completely different story about women who need to escape their lives entirely. This is not the cozy, family-centered Christmas movie we've convinced ourselves it is. It's something else entirely, and we need to stop pretending otherwise. The Holiday looks like a Christmas movie. The opening includes an office holiday party where Jasper announces his engagement, destroying Iris in front of their entire workplace. The soundtrack features Last Christmas during Amanda's breakup meltdown and multiple versions of Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas playing while characters cry or kiss. Snow falls on Iris's cottage in picturesque English countryside fashion. Twinkling lights appear in carefully curated shots of both homes. The production design is impeccable, as expected from Nancy Meyers, who treats interiors like additional characters. But these elements feel cosmetic rather than essential. The film borrows Christmas imagery without actually engaging with what Christmas means. Traditional Christmas movies use the holiday as more than backdrop. In It's a Wonderful Life, Christmas Eve serves as a deadline for George Bailey's salvation. The angel Clarence has until midnight on Christmas to save George from suicide and earn his wings. In Home Alone, Christmas is the reason Kevin gets left behind and must defend his home while his family scrambles to return for the holiday. Even lighter fare like Elf centers entirely on Christmas spirit, believing in Santa, and spreading holiday cheer to cynical New Yorkers. These stories couldn't exist without their holiday framework. Remove Christmas and the entire narrative collapses. The holiday could take place during any 2-week vacation period. The house swap happens because these women want to disappear, not because they're going home for the holidays. There are no family Christmas gatherings on either side of the Atlantic. Iris doesn't mention visiting parents or siblings. Amanda's family is notably absent beyond vague references to her parents' divorce decades ago. No one frantically shops for gifts at crowded malls. Nobody discusses their Christmas wish list or writes letters to Santa with their kids. The few gift exchanges we see are painful markers of bad relationships, not moments of holiday joy. Jasper gives Iris nothing while she presents him with a carefully wrapped first edition novel. Graham's daughters make ornaments, but only as background set dressing to prove he's a good father. Christmas exists in the holiday the way plants exist in a doctor's office, present but ultimately decorative. The film needs a time when people can plausibly take 2 weeks off work and when snowy English cottages look their most appealing. December provides that, but swap it for spring break or summer vacation and the story remains unchanged. Amanda would still need to escape her cheating boyfriend. Iris would still need distance from Jasper's manipulation. The romance would unfold identically whether snow or sunshine filled the windows. What the film actually cares about is women running away from their lives. Iris and Amanda don't journey toward anything, they flee from heartbreak, disappointment, and years of emotional neglect. The Christmas season provides convenient timing for this escape, but it's not the reason for their journeys. When Iris books her flight, she's not thinking about Christmas dinner or holiday traditions, she's thinking about how to survive seeing Jasper's face at work every day. When Amanda searches the home exchange website, she's not planning a festive getaway, she's planning a complete life reset. This makes the holiday fundamentally different from most Christmas movies, which are about coming home, reconnecting with family, or rediscovering holiday magic. The entire genre typically operates on the premise that Christmas makes people realize what matters most, which is usually family, hometown connections, or childhood innocence. Characters who've moved away return home. Workaholics remember what they've been missing. Skeptics learn to believe again. Iris isn't trying to get back to Surrey for Christmas dinner with her parents. Amanda isn't racing to make it home before the big day. Both women are actively avoiding their real lives. The romance they find feels secondary to the relief they experience from simply being somewhere else, away from people who know their patterns and histories. Amanda thrashes around to Mr. Brightside in an empty house, and it's not a Christmas celebration. It's a primal scream of freedom. The film presents this escape as the solution rather than the problem. In traditional Christmas narratives, characters who run away from their obligations usually learn they need to return and face their issues. George Bailey tries to escape Bedford Falls, but learns he's needed there. The Grinch isolates himself on a mountain, but comes down to join Whoville's celebration. Even Love Actually ends with everyone gathering at the airport, coming together rather than running apart. Christmas movies teach us that home is where we belong, that running away solves nothing, that the magic happens when we face our problems with the people who love us. The Holiday says sometimes the answer is to literally get on a plane and never look back. Iris doesn't return to have a confrontation with Jasper that leads to closure and growth. She literally flees the country. When he follows her to Los Angeles trying to restart their toxic pattern, she finally tells him no. But this growth only happens because she removed herself entirely from the environment where he had power over her. The film suggests that sometimes geography is the answer. Sometimes you need to be somewhere nobody knows your weaknesses. The relationships in The Holiday develop in a vacuum. Graham and Amanda meet cute when he's drunk and stumbles into what he thinks is his sister's empty cottage. Miles and Iris connect at a video rental store over film scores. These are not Christmas meet-cutes. There's no mistletoe, no bumping into each other at the tree lot, no competing for the last toy at the Christmas market. The Holiday provides timing, but not meaning. More significantly, these relationships have nothing to do with going home or rediscovering roots. Graham doesn't make Amanda appreciate her family or her life in Los Angeles. Miles doesn't convince Iris that her cottage and career in Surrey are actually wonderful. Both women fall for men who represent their escapes, not their returns. Amanda falls for someone whose entire life exists an ocean away from her problems. Iris falls for someone who lives in the city where she's temporarily pretending to be someone else. The film never seriously addresses how these relationships will function when the vacation ends. Graham lives in England with 2 young daughters and a dead wife, whose memory he's still processing. Amanda runs a successful trailer company in Los Angeles and has never shown interest in children. Miles composes film scores in Hollywood. Iris writes wedding columns for a London newspaper. These are not easily merged lives. Yet the film ends with everyone dancing together on New Year's Eve, acting as if logistics don't exist. This refusal to engage with reality is telling. The Holiday isn't interested in how these couples will actually make it work, because that's not what the story is about. It's about the fantasy of reinvention, and reinvention fantasies don't include discussions about international custody arrangements or career sacrifices. If The Holiday is secretly about any holiday, it's New Year's Eve. The final shot shows our 4 leads dancing together as they ring in the new year, not gathered around a Christmas tree exchanging gifts or attending midnight mass. This ending reveals what the film has always been about: starting over. The whole premise operates on New Year's logic: new year, new you, rather than Christmas values of family, tradition, and coming home. Both Amanda and Iris treat their house swap as a reset button on their entire lives. They're not looking for Christmas miracles or rediscovering the magic of the season. They're looking for complete transformation through geographic relocation and meeting attractive strangers who don't know anything about their past failures. This is the fantasy sold by every New Year's Eve celebration, not Christmas morning. The message isn't about appreciating what you have, healing family rifts, or rekindling bonds with your community. It's about escaping to something better, becoming someone new, leaving your old self behind with your old life. The film even acknowledges this shift in its structure. After spending the whole movie in this Christmas-adjacent space where the holiday exists mainly in background music and decorative lighting, Meyers ends on New Year's Eve rather than Christmas Day. That final conga line happens because these women have successfully reinvented themselves, found new relationships with men who have no context for their worst moments, and are ready to enter a new year as different people. Christmas was just the excuse they needed to make it happen. It provided the culturally acceptable window for escape. We've collectively decided the holiday holiday as a Christmas classic, appearing on streaming service holiday hubs and year-end best-of lists. But this classification does the film a disservice. By insisting it belongs in the Christmas movie canon, we ignore what makes it actually interesting. It's a movie about women's emotional exhaustion, the courage it takes to leave situations that diminish you, and the relief of being seen by someone who doesn't have years of baggage with you. It's about choosing yourself when everyone expects you to keep showing up for people who treat you badly. These themes resonate because they're real and messy in ways that traditional Christmas movies often avoid. Iris doesn't learn to appreciate Jasper more or fix their relationship through holiday magic and the power of forgiveness. She physically removes herself from his orbit and finds someone who treats her better from the start, who doesn't require years of emotional labor before offering basic respect. Iris doesn't cry healing tears on Christmas morning while Silent Night plays and snow falls gently outside. She cries at the airport after allowing herself to be vulnerable with someone for the first time in years, and it's messy and loud and happens in public. The movie works precisely because it sidesteps Christmas movie expectations. It refuses to provide the comfort of family traditions, hometown nostalgia, or holiday redemption arcs. Instead, it offers something more complicated and honestly more useful: permission to leave. Permission to say that sometimes the problem isn't your attitude or your failure to appreciate what you have. Sometimes the problem is the situation itself, and the solution is removing yourself from it entirely. So why do we keep calling it a Christmas movie? Perhaps because we need the cover of Christmas to justify watching something that's actually about escape, reinvention, and choosing yourself over obligation. The holiday season makes it acceptable to fantasize about running away to someone else's life, someone else's house, someone else's entire existence. We can pretend we're watching for the cozy cottages and twinkling lights and Hans Zimmer's score while actually craving the permission these women give themselves to prioritize their own happiness over everyone else's expectations. We call it a Christmas movie because that makes it safe. Christmas movies are supposed to be comforting, predictable, full of magic and redemption. If we admitted the holiday is actually about women fleeing their lives and never really going back, it would be harder to categorize, harder to fit into our seasonal viewing traditions. So we focus on the snow and the soundtrack and ignore that the real story has nothing to do with Christmas at all. The holiday isn't the Christmas classic we pretend it is. It's a New Year's resolution disguised as a Christmas movie, an escape fantasy wrapped in holiday aesthetics, a story about leaving that we've packaged as a story about belonging. And maybe that's exactly why we return to it every December, why it has endured when other mid-2000s romantic comedies have faded. We need stories that give us permission to want something different, to imagine ourselves somewhere else, to believe that sometimes the answer is just getting on a plane. We just need to stop pretending it has anything to do with Christmas. This is Ladies First, watching women in movies. Here we empower women by reviewing and discussing films that highlight their stories, struggles, and achievements. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments.